protect us from fundamentalists of all stripes. I became a thin blue flame. I was polished on a mountain range. And over hills and fields I flew. Wrapped up in a royal blue. I flew over Royal City last night, bullfight on the horns of a new moonlight. Caesar's ghost, I saw the war-torn tides. The Prince of Denmark's father still and quiet. And the whole world was looking to get drowned. And trees were a fist shaking themselves at the clouds. I looked over curtains, oh, it's then that I knew. Only a full house gonna make it through. And I became a thin blue wire. I held the world above the fire. And so it was I saw behind. Heaven's just a thin blue line. If God's up there, he's in a cold dark room. The heavenly hosts are just the cold dark moons. Bent down and made the world in 7 days. And ever since he's been a walking away, mixing with nitrogen and lonely holes, where neither seraphim or raindrops go. I see an old man wandering the halls alone. Only a full house gonna make a home. And I became a thin blue stream. The smoke between asleep and dreams. And in that clear blue undertow, saw Royal City far below. The border soft with refugees. The streets are swimming with amputees. It's a Bible or a bullet they put over your heart. It's getting harder and harder just to tell them apart. The days and the nights are long. And beating hearts blossom into walking bombs. And those still looking in the clear blue sky for a sign. Get missiles from so high they might as well be divine. And now the dogs are howling at your door. Sing about vengeance like it's the joy of the Lord. Bring a justice to the enemies, not the other way round. The guilty one killed and the killed where they're found. If what's loosed on earth will be loosed up on high, it's a hell of a heaven we must go to when we die. Where even Laurel begs honey for vengeance, please. Fat man's crying on his hands and his knees. Back in the peacetime he caught roses on the stage. Now he twists a decision and takes bourbon for rage. Like pellets of pepper and aluminum. Halcyon, laudanum and opium. Six kiss the heart in this poison cup. His wine and sheet is busy winding up. In darkness he looks for the lights that have died. We need faith for the same reasons that it's so hard to find. And the whole thing is headed for a terrible wreck. And like a tragedy, that's what we expect. To make plans for a city laid down. The hips of a girl on the spring-covered ground. Spirals and capitals and the twists of a script. Streets named for heroes that could almost exist. Fruit trees of Eden, all the gardens they seem to float like smoke from a lithium dream. Cedar trees growing in the cool of the squares. Young women walking in the portals of prayer. The future glass buildings and the past an address. The weddings in pollen and the wine bottomless. And all wrongs forgotten and all vengeance made right. The suffering verbs put to sleep at night. The future descending like a bright chandelier. The world is beginning and the guests in good cheer. Orion City, I went into a trance. It's hell to believe there ain't a hell of a chance. Help! I woke beneath the clear blue sky. The sun was a shout and the breeze was a sigh. The old hometown, the streets I knew, were wrapped up in a royal blue. I heard my friends laughing out across the fields, girls in the gloaming and the birds on a wheel, a raw smell of horses and the warm smell of hay, cicadas electric in the heat of the day, a run of three sisters in the flush of the land. The lake was a diamond in the valley's hand, the straight of the highway and the scattered out hearts. Coming together, they were pulling apart. And angels everywhere were in my midst, and the ones that I loved and the ones that I kissed. I wondered what it was we've been looking for up above. Heaven is so big there ain't no need to look up. So I stopped looking for royal cities in the air. Only a full house gonna have a prayer. really lucky to be playing with these guys and for doing what you love to do.